welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Today's video we'll be looking at new Alolan Ninetales deck featuring a couple Rotoms. I tested out this deck today and it's okay, but it's nothing too special. All I'm gonna say is that it's a little bit too hard to discard so many tools in your discard pile with this build that I actually built. And the problem is that you're only hitting for 10 for each tool card in your discard pile. If it's a 20, a whole different story would happen, because then this card would actually be worth of playing. With only 10 for each tool in your discard pile, you need to have like 25 tools in order to want to hit knockout something really big. And that's literally 50% of your deck, almost 50. Let's say 45%. Ninetales can be our main attacker as well as a couple backup attackers. So I have Psychic Rotom and Water Rotom. I should probably even consider playing Fire one for the Melmetal GX as well. The trigger can help us with the sprint to discard some tools from our hand in your discard pile, in order to draw some cards, as well as the Marshadow when the tool is attached to it. I also have Mew with the Bunch Beer as well as Mimikyu with the Shadow Box. And that Rotom, 4/4 copy of Alolan Ninetales, Frost Rotom, and that's pretty much all for the Pokemon lineup. From item cards, I'm running also 4 Acrobikes. Really can help us to discard tool cards faster in discard pile. 2 Great Catchers, 2 copies of Mysterious Treasure and Communication for Pokemon Search, 1 Pulphead, as well as a Reset Stamp. Stadium option is Shrine, so we can increase damage to the GX Pokemons. 4 Cynthias, 2 Dianthus, and 4 Red Challenge. Additionally, 4 of each tool cards. I'm running 4 Choice Helmets, Ringing Bells, Skateboard, and Jump Bomb. So that's the deck that I'm going to test in today's video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, sub to the channel for more videos, let me know in the comments what you think about it, and enjoy in the rest of the game. Alright, starting first, so let's see what we can actually do with this deck. I'm not expecting too much. It is definitely not going to be super good as you might think, because you really need to discard plenty of tool cards in your discard pile in order to deal a good amount of damage, which is always not an easy task, especially if you start with a hand like this. Okay, so what we can do here? I think not too much, so playing this A Ringing Bell could be the best possible way to start this game. As well as benching down this Mimikyu and passing my turn, just in case if my opponent can somehow knocks me out at the turn 1. What I like about A Ringing Bell is definitely the fact that if your opponent attacks you, he will be confused. But then on the other side, if you play against Lucario and Melmetal, that probably doesn't matter too much, because that deck actually use mixed herbs and other healing cards that can help you a lot. And that can help your opponent a lot, but they can actually make your life much more harder. And there is a Nullifying Pan, as well as Mountain Coronet. Alright, so not too many options again available, only Cynthia. Will I finally get something out in play? Looks like I want. So I'm gonna definitely reset Hull here. That Mountain Coronet, and additionally play Pulphead for 2 Cynthias. I still didn't set a single card in the game, and only 1 tool is in my discard pile. I played 2 Cynthias. Next turn I will play third one. So playing 3 Cynthias in a row, drawing literally dead cards. And there is a Red's Challenge. 4 Cynthia and a Rare Candy. Alright, that's interesting. He's playing a Rare Candy for the Magnezone. So this is a Lucario Melmetal Magnezone deck. Full Metal Wall GX makes sense. You're reducing the damage to Lucario and Melmetal. Acrobike is a top deck, so that might be a good option. Oof. Okay, I will probably grab that Vulpix, set it on the bench, put the choice helmet, and play Cynthia. Alright. The Anta is a much better option, I think. Getting out of Marshadow in play, and that Marshadow can get that escape board. Airing Bell can also be attached. Airing Bell should actually be attached to the Vulpix instead. Okay, you turn boards, and Lily for 5. So finally Lucario and Melmetal can start attacking with Steel Fist. So there is Cobalion, another Magnemite, and Steel Fist with 50. But the most important thing is that Lucario is confused right now. There we go. Alright, Shrine of Punishment. Very good top deck. Put it in play. And I can only pass my turn, putting 10 damage from the Shrine of Punishment to my opponent, active Lucario. Taking a closer look to my discard pile, only 2 choice helmets. And there is a lady which says that you can search your deck for up to 4 energy cards, reveal them, put in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Alright, so 4 energies. Alright, it's always risky to flip heads on the coin flip, because if you flip tails on the coin flip, under the confusion, you are taking 30 damage back. So, taking 30 damage counters back. Okay, so he flipped heads. Alright, at least one more tool in my discard pile, I guess. So, Ninetales to be promoted, I can hit barely for nothing, 10 damage from Shrine of Punishment. The only reason why I promoted my Ninetales in the front is because of the, of course, tool, but of course because of the, oh, he decided to retreat, so there must be a Metal Arms if this Pokemon has a tool. I mean, it doesn't even matter because he can hit me for a knockout anyways. Don't even need to have tool because of the weakness, but I can use at least the Anta. So being able to use the Anta, I can use 2 cards from my discard pile. And I think, I don't know, maybe I should go for, okay, first I'm gonna put my Marshadow in the front. Secondly, I'm gonna put this Airing Bell. Okay, so the Anta for a Zebstrika definitely, and for Cynthia. And what's gonna happen next will be a Zebstrika trade for that Ditto. And then I will retreat onto my Mimikyu and pass my turn. So if he decides to attack with Cobalion, of course he can knocks me out. But what's gonna happen next? My opponent will again be confused, which means that he needs to retreat back or put it in. But the problem is that he only took 3 prize cards. That's what actually scares me a lot. He's doing definitely a good job here. Okay, Giant Bomb. Should definitely be attached. Okay, so right now I need Vulpix. Didn't get nothing. Alright. I didn't get nothing. Which means I probably lost this game. Not probably, but for sure. I mean, what else I can actually do? Nothing. He can retreat, paying 2 energy cards, hitting me with the Melmetal and Lucario for like 150. After that, that's literally it. The only Pokemon that I will have will be a Ditto. Of course, with the Red's challenge, I can probably get Zebstrike in play, but what's gonna happen after that Zebstrike? I'm gonna need a Great Catcher, for example, so I can Great Catch, let's say, that Duskmane Necrozma with 3 retreat cost. Seems reasonable, because he's just throwing those energies insanely to his other Pokemons in play. And that can potentially buy me some time, so I can try to increase the damage done with the Shrine of Punishment, and maybe turns. We shall see. Luckily, I didn't have that escape board available, and Blitzy as a top deck. Okay, that's really good. Red's challenge. If he's hitting for 150, it doesn't really matter too much. Only if it's 180 or more, of course. Giant bump. So I definitely needs to go for that Striker. I can maybe start attacking with a Rotom if I can find one. Okay, at least what I can do is I can play Great Catcher and catch that Necrozma at the active position. Do I need to retreat? I really don't. So, how many tools do I have in my discard right now? The problem is that I have 3 Ninetales, and there's like 4, 6, 7, 10. Okay, so at least Rotom can attack. Okay, I buy myself a turn. He passes the turn. Maybe I can still pull a miracle here. I don't think so. Let me see, what do I have left in my deck? Only one Frost Rotom. Okay, so I will definitely need Miracle in this game. But since he have 9 energies, I will at least have enough for the knockout right here. I can use Red's challenge and set that Vulpix on the bench. Plus draw more cards with a spread. Ringing Bell. Is this enough? 10 plus 20 more. 8? 9. So that is 180. 180, and after that I'm knocked out. He has so many cards in his hand, it will be just a miracle. Just a Cosmos, so I definitely need to go for the knockout. There is a skateboard, and another card is a Vulpix. It should be a Ninetales in order to be able to do something out, but it wasn't. And the problem is that I won't have attacker to finish the game. What can help me here technically can be, let's say, a copy of another Great Catcher, so I can Great Catch, let's say, I don't know, there's nothing even available for me to Great Catch, because even if I decide to Great Catch this Magnezone, he can just retreat once. Alright, so without Ninetales, without Great Catcher, even with the Ninetales and the Great Catcher, I'm going to be able to finish the game anyway, because I'm down to 4 prize cards, and the last Ninetales unfortunately is prized. So there is a Great Catcher at least. Alright. With the Great Catch Rye, I even forget about I can only catch a GX. So I should say just too late. Just too late. I managed to get some cards. Yeah, definitely too late. It doesn't matter. I can Cynthia literally deck out myself. So you can't even use Mysterious Treasure to get rid of some of the cards from your hand. Well, I'm just gonna save hopefully to my opponent. Yeah, as you can see, the deck actually doesn't work as it is supposed to be. So unfortunately, we're just gonna call this deck to be actually a little bit better, but unfortunately at the end it's not. So quite simply her. Alright, so starting with Frost Rotom and Blitzy. Rest of the cards in my hand looks just really bad. I mean, to the Endas, can you even do something with them? You can't. John Bump and a Ringing Bell, well, at least that's something. That Shrine of Punishment is useless. At some point of game, might be good, might not. At least to discard my opponent's Stadium card from play. With Marshadow, I can also do that as well. Oof, look at my opponent's setup. I can at least draw an extra card, which is a Acrobike. And a Cynthia as a top deck. Alright, so we are back in action, boys. Red's Challenge to be used. I'm gonna attach that Ringing Bell as well as the John Bomb. And play that Cynthia straight away for the fresh hand. Hopefully I can find some Vulpix. Communication into Ditto seems to be a good idea, but I don't have one. And I think I'm just gonna go on save play here, trying to get that Striker using the Acrobike into another Acrobike. Alright, let's try one more Acrobike for Vulpix. Alright, I can do that. And Pulpad, so I can recycle that Cynthia back, and that's gonna be it for now. Next turn, actually I shouldn't discard that Pulpad from my hand. Why did I do that? Yeah, it was not a good idea. I could always play Zubstrika, then Cynthia, and then preserve that Pulpad. Okay, mistakes are here to be done, I guess. So another way for my opponent to set up here is to get some Pidgeotos in play so he can airmail and deliver the cards that he needs with the airmail into his hand. That's Shramish. And he also have Mew, for example, and a Pokegear 3.0. Since he already used Supporter card, the next turn he can definitely go with a Cynthia. My turn. Alright, interesting. Skateboard. I can actually have one skateboard somewhere. Let's go with a Cynthia. Nice looking hand. That Mysterious Treasure can be discarded, for example, for that Marshadow, so I can have Marshadow available on the bench. And one Sprint. There is no way that I can retreat my Frost Rotom from the active position as long as it have that Ringing Bell. So I'm just gonna pass my turn checking the discard pile and seeing only 2 tool cards so far. So I'm far away from being able to attack. Pidgeotto with the airmail. First airmail in the game. And there we go, there is a slumbering force that I mentioned. And Cynthia. Energy attached, fire, not poisoned, and only poisoned. I think it's a good option to go with the Cynthia first. Alright, I don't need Mimikyu for sure. So what I'm gonna do next will be a... Okay, what about Mysterious Treasure for another copy of Marshadow? So I can actually have two Marshadows sitting on the bench and sprinting for those choice helmets. I still can't attack. There are only 4 tools in my discard piles. I'm just gonna pass my turn for now. Okay, very slow startup. At least in this matchup, I'm doing good, but probably against other decks, I would already lose the game. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. Who knows? Alright, I'm not quite sure why my opponent did that, but it doesn't even matter. We have Red's challenge. So what we can do here, we can grab ourselves another tool card that can actually be discarded. Still, I won't be able to attack anyways. I'm just gonna pass my turn once again. Alright, that is just ridiculous. I discarded so many resources, my opponent didn't even manage to put Prelim in play. And the most interesting is that, yeah, okay, the truth is he can go for 120, so it really doesn't matter if he puts his Stadium in play because he can one-hit knock on my Ninetales anyways. If he takes the first prize card of the game, I'm not quite sure if I will be able to win this game. I think I won't be able to win the game. But look at my hand. It is just absolute mess here. So let's go with a Cynthia and see if we can actually get something like a tool card. And finally we can. Finally we can get more tool cards. And I'm gonna reset. I'll also get the Marshadow, and finally I can start Frost Marshadow because my opponent decided to attach 1 more energy to that Among Us. It was a misplay in my opinion. I took the first prize card in the game, but the problem is, well, the problem is that I only have 3 remaining cards. Three remaining cards, my friends, so I'm gonna need Cynthia and that Dianta as well in order to prevent myself from decking out. Otherwise, that's gonna be GG. Okay, so there's a pro. I'm asleep. Score 4 knockout. Nope. It should be. It's not enough for the knockout. And that's even worse because I'm losing 1 turn without being able to attack. And that is absolutely. Okay, I'm not even quite sure what to say about that. It is bad for sure. 4 choice helmets, 2 John bombs, 2 to the skateboards, a ringing bell. Okay, power plant, knocked out by the poison. And the damage that can be done to my opponent is only 110. But I basically deck out myself. Alright, I can reset hull, I think twice. That can give me that extra pass, actually concede the game, even he would win the game at the end. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. We just saw that this deck actually doesn't work, at least my version of this deck doesn't work, so who knows, maybe someone else will build this deck much better and stronger, but unfortunately it is a GG.